hey everybody, welcome back to InnRoads Plays. We are going back into the dungeons for an episode of The Broken Road. We are playing D&D 5e, and we're having a good time. At least I am. We'll let the other boys decide on that fact. But then again, inspiration is aplenty for those who are willing to say that I'm an excellent DM.
You're a kind and benevolent DM, and a snappy dresser.
Oh, thank you. I'm glad you noticed. That's I wore my Soylent Green today, so just kind of making sure I'm ready. All right, so we are going to go back in the dungeon. So we thought I'd do a quick round table, see how things have been going. Why don't we start out with Monsieur Navarro and his character Silas. How are things going for you, bud?
Yeah, going good. As you said, I play Silas Sylvan Smith. He's a woods-wandering halfling wizard with a bit of a psychotic streak on occasion. So pretty accurate to self. In terms of what's been going on, big changes in my life recently. My wife changed schedules, and so I now have evenings available. So going to men's Bible study. So that's kind of nice. Now I haven't been able to do it in a while. And so things are good.
Very cool, very cool. Now, now we've got to find out if there's going to be extra sessions of InnRoads. Then we'll have to think of that too.
Hey, I don't think I'm the limiting factor here.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Wait, don't look at me like that. All right, let's move on to Mr. Basha before things get weird. Mr. Basha, how have things been going with you?
Good. Things have been going pretty good. Not much has changed for me. Still at this, doing the same thing. I did have a really good opportunity this week to witness to my friends at work. It's always a hard thing to do at work, but it was fun.
Cool. You feel like it planted some seeds there?
Well, I've known these guys for almost 20 years, so whatever seeds I'm always trying to plant. And I think sometimes you feel like you're trying not to root up seeds more often than you're planting them.
Don't want to over-till the soil. I gotcha. It's a tough, how's it go? A tough road to hoe? Yeah, most definitely. Well, maybe we can bring him in on the game. Maybe that might be a way to do that. Yeah, you can let them know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Or are they not gamers?
I don't think he's a gamer. Okay.
All right. We'll figure out another way then. All right, Mr. Basha, thank you. On to Mr. Perna. How are things going with you?
Things are going great. As we kind of talked about before we got recording here, I've had the nerdiest day I've had in a long time today. My wife has gone down to Maryland to hang out with her sister as she's going to have a baby shower for our soon-to-be born baby niece. And left me here. So it just so happens that coincided with the monthly game I play with my buddies for the past going on 10 years of, oddly enough, D&D 5e, where I play another dwarf.
No.
Oh, yeah. And so I went down there at around 11:30 today, and I just got back about, 25 minutes ago. And for those of you who don't know what time it is, it's significantly later. It's about 9 hours later. And now I'm playing D&D with you guys, so I've got that going. In the same, when it comes to other stuff, I can say that over the past, how long has it been since we played last?
About a month, actually.
Yeah.
A month.
So in the past month, InnRoads has its first official volunteer here on the East Coast. That is not internet related. He actually doesn't want to do any of the social networking stuff and all that other stuff. He's going to help me run events and do various admin-y things here, so I'm super excited about that. And I can say that starting on Monday, as we're recording, so a couple days from now, my wife and I are doing this hardcore, It involves going to the doctor and getting checked out on a regular basis, and we're going to do like this hardcore diet program. So you'll be seeing significantly less of me, hopefully, in the near future.
I hear that. It's definitely something I need to do too.
Great to hear, man. Great to hear.
Yeah, so we're hoping to, because both of us will be doing it together. That's always easier than when one of you tries to do it.
So much easier. Yeah.
So this is a very hardcore program. This is not for the faint of heart, but we've seen a bunch of people who've gone through this with amazing, like, the kind of results that if I didn't know these people and somebody tried to tell me that this happened, I'd call it quackery and just move on. But I've physically watched it happen.
Right.
So I'm super excited about it. The prayer right now is I knuckle down and actually follow the rules that they've given me for this strict holy cow program.
Yeah.
But that starts in a couple days, so we'll see how that goes.
Well, good luck, man. We'll definitely be praying for you. Hope you just stay on the wagon, just persevere. Have your couple days, maybe one day every couple weeks where you can kind of do what you want, and then get back on it. I mean, I'm not exactly the picture of total health, but like over the last 6 months, I've lost like 30 pounds, just kind of staying focused. So,
yep. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully by next month I take up less of the video screen. So
you're not going to go to 4:3 ratio, are you? Come on.
No, I mean, come on. That takes effort and work and changing the settings on my camera, and I don't want to do any of that. I'll just take up less of it.
This is my strategy. Just push the camera. Look at that.
Look, as I shrink before.
Look at this. It's so tiny. How does he do it?
Amazing.
Oh, man. Well, awesome, guys. It's good to get back together again. I'm glad to get back into this little dungeon crawler we got going on, or at least it started to become a dungeon crawler last session. So, yeah.
Hey, I was playing around with undead fairies last time. There's nothing dungeon crawl about poking a fairy into a magical fire and seeing if it dances.
There's a few aspects of what I would consider being wrong with that whole phrase that you just said there, but we'll roll with it. We'll roll with it because
making it work. We're making it work.
We're making it work. Because all sorts of things are happening. There's talking owls. We've got dungeons, and we've got rotten meat and mineral ore or mined ore and stuff. I mean, there's all sorts of nonsense going on down there. And then to top it all off, we've got a twitching undead fairy. So,
undead fairy. In a jar.
In a jar. I was trying to do the little sound effect last time to make it sound like a glass or whatever. It just wasn't quite translating.
Oh, sure. See?
Yeah. I'll have that on tap later. But,
I'm about to say, I'm a little worried that you have that prop now on hand this session.
No, not at all, guys. It's just to wet my whistle, that's all. And it's not that I drink just enough to change the pitch to make it a little bit different. No.
Yeah, no, there's nothing to that.
That's ridiculous.
My buddy tonight...
Holy stuff. What's going off camera there?
Oh, sorry.
My buddy today, who is our DM... He used an old GM trick that really messed with our heads. I rolled to find secret doors. We were in this kind of dungeon, and I roll for it. And he goes, "You have found none of the secret doors." And so the rest of the group who didn't know about that trick was like, "Wait, does that mean there are some and we didn't find?" I go, "No, guys, he's just screwing with us."
There's nothing there.
There's nothing there.
But then he lays that dangerous precedent that means that you're going to be checking every single room for secret doors, and it's like,
exactly.
See, that's the point where I would say, you know what? I want everybody to roll for secret doors and help one person, and then that's going to be your roll for the next 3 passages.
That's just the rest of them.
That's it. But we got ones. That's the luck you got. That's it. All right. Well, let's get things shaking and baking here. We are down in the hole right now, and I am going to share screens here real quick to get things started. I'll show the for the video, I'll end up showing a picture of that pit, so you guys are going to see that on the YouTubes, but the boys are going to see that. They're going straight to the map. But
oh, that's right. We had goblins popping out of hidey holes.
That's right. That's right. So, all right. So let's get things started here. I want to have some music for you, boys. That's one of the great things about this, is that it just has like a nice little ambience track that we can add in. Make sure my mixer's going, the volume's up. So hopefully you guys are gonna start kind of hearing the cave stuff.
Oh yeah.
All right, cool. Get that going. And then a fireball comes from the back. No, just kidding. All right. So here we go. The opening scene. It's the dead of night. Or no, it's the middle of the day.
It might be the dead of night, but we're underground.
Yeah, it's dead of night for you guys. All right, let's try that again. It is the middle of the day right now, gray overcast, and the camera, kind of picturing a camera, is kind of like at worm's eye view, and you see a hand-rolled cigarette gets flicked over onto the ground right in front of the camera, and camera kind of pans up, and a ranger's boot like steps down on it and squishes it out. And we pull back on this. No. This is just expository. Don't worry.
I love you, Sarge.
Love you, Sarge. Where are you going? And so it pulls back, and there's a trio of men that are standing there. One guy is leaning against a cart where there's a couple of mules that are hitched over or hitched to a tree nearby, and he's leaning against the cart and he's kind of checking his nails, and another guy is looking over kind of fearfully, and then a third guy is going up to the man who's checking his nails, and they're just kind of talking back and forth. But over the back of the cart and next to a wall where a fire's been built, there's a half-elf there. And the half-elf is just kind of grumbling to himself, looking into the fire. And he looks over at the three guys, and he says, "We need more wood. Needs more wood for this fire. We've got to stay here 2 bloody days. We're going to need more wood." And so the camera kind of pans away from the fire, and the two guys point at the fearful-looking man and send him off. And for us, we know that that's Harlan. And he nods, and he grabs up a bow, a short bow, and he heads off into the forest to make use of the hand axe at his hip to try and chop down some more branches and stuff. But that's hard going. I mean, this is your Melvant. This is the Moon Sea. This is the tundra, and the cold and the wet and everything. It's hard to find and dry wood. So he spends some time doing that. And as he's chopping at the wood, he finds a tree, he finds a branch that he can get at, and he starts chopping at it. And as he pulls it down, the camera goes back to a worm eye view and looks up at him. And right above his shoulder, there's a shadow that's moving around in the tree branches above him. And then the last thing you see before we change scenes is 2 yellow eyes that are opening up. And then we flip down to a dungeon. And down in this dank dungeon, there's this deep, dark hole, rickety stairs that lead down into a tunnel. And most of the stairs slapdash put together. They've been here for a while, so some of the wood's kind of rotten. But yeah, there's at least a passable entrance here. And that passable entrance was used by our 3 heroes. We follow the camera down, it hits the bottom of this well, and you see a passage that's made up of flagstone, and there's a lot of dirt that's grown over it, and there's some moss here and there, that sort of thing. And you pass through 2 iron gates, one that looks like that's been rusted open and that has no hope of being closed, but one that looks like it was opened just very recently. And descend into shadow, and the camera comes up on a little pool of blood next to a green goblin, a dead corpse. And standing over it is Barrett Ironborn, our dwarven cleric, and Kendrick Hillenspanner, our dwarven thief, rogue, man of mystery.
And then the dude behind us.
And then there's a halfling behind you, Silas Sylvansmith, wizard extraordinaire, flamethrower of much renown, who all three have just recently faced 2 goblins and a third that has managed to scamper down the hall and around a corner up and to the right. So when last we left our fellow heroes, the surroundings here you can see decently. Silas, you've got a little bit of trouble, but I think you have a light spell that you can use, or you have torches on hand. I believe in Kendrick's pack he has some torches. But there are braziers ever so often that do provide some forms of light. So we're good. Everybody kind of caught up and know where we're going.
Yeah, I mean, sounds good. I think we need to be sending the rogue. We need to be sending the rogue ahead to sneak around and see what's up in front of us, so that we don't have another time like when we stumbled into the goblin camp and almost died. That was less than fun.
A little bit. It was trying. But yeah. I hear ya. Very good. Then we are. Again, we had one goblin that did make its way, got away. It's not the same one that got away in the first session, but a different one. Yeah, up ahead of you, you do have a larger brazier that is showing. That's showing basically that same kind of like soft glow, burning coals that don't seem to give off very much heat, or at least not enough heat for this level of light. And then you also have the idea that there's a dead sprite in a jar on Baird's hip that became active when they got near the braziers that were behind you around that corner. So you have that too. Just a little bit. It can be a little intimidating.
I was happy that you didn't have the thing actually come back to life, because that would be ridiculous. I don't even have a mental category for zombie fairies. That's not even a category for me.
It's not a thing. It's not something that you actually.
May it never be a thing.
May it never be. Gotcha. All right. So what do you guys want to do? I will. I'll take this. I'll take the map there, and I will remove the dead zombies, or the dead zombies.
The dead.
You got me thinking about zombies now because of the darn sprite. All right, let me clear these guys out. So just so you know, you got to step over some goblin carcasses there. All right, just making sure you guys should still have control over your characters.
Oh yeah.
At this point. Good. And each of those squares represents 5 feet, so you'll be able to kind of use that at your will. And there you go.
Well, I basically want to move up, kind of edging along the wall.
Okay.
I don't want to quite go into the next room here where what looks like some kind of brazier is.
Okay.
But I kind of want to be tucked against the wall here.
Okay. Not.
Do we move? 1, 2, 3.
All right. Do you guys want to do it kind of stealthily? What are we talking here?
Basha, we're not in combat, so you don't have to worry about distance. We're just walking right now.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I kind of want to do stealthy, but I mean, Baird's not exactly known for stealthy.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
I mean, I want to try. I want to make an effort, but...
Gotcha. No, that makes sense. I mean, if you want, go ahead and let's have you roll a stealth or a dex check, as it were.
Oh, boy.
So I opened up the map there a little bit for you guys, so you can kind of see a little bit what's going on.
No, hey, they changed the look.
Oh, they have a new look.
Yeah, oh yeah, they did their update of holding.
I just,
Yeah.
I just crit my skill check. Thank you very much.
Nice.
We are the stealthiest dudes in the world.
Oh,
Very
sorry.
cool.
That was acrobatic.
Oddly enough, our
Oh, no,
rogue is the one
Kendrick, are you?
acrobatics.
I know, Kendrick. Are you flipping around on the wall? What are you doing there?
I
I will jump over the fire.
I just saw Dex and I clicked on it.
All right. Well, seeing as the first
really.
roll was a 14, what's your character sheet say as far as athletics? What kind of bonus do you get there?
They're both the same.
They're both the same. Okay, just keep the 14 for now. That'll work. Okay, so you guys move up actually very quietly, even considering the armored form of the dwarven cleric, which actually outdoes Kendrick. And as you guys are hitting this corner, you notice that on either side of here, there are two more of those gates. But these gates actually stand open. So there you go. And then here's the other gate. Now the altar, well, what seems like it would be kind of an altar, it's a raised platform, really is a better description. It's got two steps that go up. You can't really walk up them unless you're there to kind of refill the coals that are in this big thing. But whereas the braziers before were maybe like 3-4 feet across, this thing is actually closer to 5.5, almost 6 feet across. It's pretty big. Along the outside are carved reliefs that are depicting various things, anything from you've got humans that are walking around with jars, or what would be like what do you call it? What's this called? Amphors? Amphors, yeah. They're walking around with those. You've got a couple of humans that are walking and sharing a big giant platter as they walk around this thing. What do you want to do? Is there anything that you want to do to investigate it, or do you guys want to move on and try and track where that goblin went?
I'm kind of nervous of rogue wandering gobos that know that we're here.
Well, let me give it a quick history check.
Okay, sounds great. I like this new look. This is cool.
Awesome. That's great.
If not for unless we're counting the roll, yeah.
Hey guys, I think things happen once. Maybe.
Well, when you're looking at this, these look like they're humans, and a lot of times human history kind of blends it into itself. I mean, unless you were looking specifically at historical items that were like, say, from Melvant, a lot of times it just kind of bleeds together.
It was boring. I didn't pay attention in class.
Would you mind if I gave that a shot? A little bit of digging back into the histories.
Sure, Silas, you feel okay with that?
Yeah, whatever. Hey, man, do you want to smoke some weed after class?
Yeah.
Bam.
Oh, for some reason it did it twice, but either one is.
The first one is a doozy. Okay, so Mr. Barrett, looking at these particular reliefs, what you're seeing is it looks like people are bringing refreshment. A lot of refreshment. Like it's basically almost kind of like a motif of invigoration. So,
wait a minute. Isn't the woman who sent us here a priestess of, I can't remember the name of it because isn't it some deity of celebration and joy and happiness, and we get hammered a lot?
That'd be Lady Joy Worker, Shandara Lear.
Yes.
Oh, somebody's looking at their handout.
No, it's all in my memory.
Nice.
Clearly.
He's known for festivals thrown on the fortnight.
Yeah. So she's a priestess of Lear, which is like revelry, celebration.
I'm thinking we're in home turf here.
It's possible. It's possible. I mean,
however, she is a halfling, and these are humans.
Yeah. Well, Lear's not necessarily just a halfling goddess. I mean, humans do worship her, but But yeah, you get the big motif here. The big thing that you see standing out is being invigorated.
Well, seeing as the fire invigorated your dead fairy,
My dead fairy.
I'm going to say, yeah, there's some kind of
There's a
necromantic
theme here.
re-lifing kind of thing going on down here.
Relifing.
I want to
that
trademark
term has
that
been
word,
coined.
relifing.
InnRoads TM, right there.
Yeah, relifing.
Yeah, relifing. Love it. All right, what do we got going here? Rolling 1 of 2. Are you flipping a coin? Is that what that is?
Yep, we're going left.
We're going. I love it. You know what? I'm okay going with that. I'm okay going with that.
Okay. Just a reminder that the gobber did go this way. So.
Oh well, come on, man. We gotta follow the gob.
No. I mean, it's okay.
No.
Go which way. I just want to make sure that you're aware that you know what you're looking for.
Yeah, I mean, fine if you don't want to follow the clear hand of God. It's fine by me.
Hey, my God is one of knowledge and wisdom, and knowledge and wisdom is the fact that I know the gob went that way.
Well, as you're kind of like moving up toward in that direction anyway, and you're standing on top of the gate, Silas. There you go. Yay! So as you're like hopping around the area and stuff, the light that is being cast by this brazier shines into an area like that. The ground in here is very much the same as the hallway, but you can tell that it does open out a little bit. So you can tell there's more room out here. So do you want to do how do you want to make your approach?
All right, so you guys go look. I will keep watch.
Okay, I'm okay with that. Again, not going farther than the opening here.
Well, you can't see around.
We're rolling. I'm assuming that you guys are going with your current level of stealth.
Yeah,
and that'll last you here a little bit. So
I'm okay with that.
Okay. And then Stylish, you're kind of eyeballing down here. There you go. Get you open at that. So, looking over in that direction now.
This room in.
See.
We can see that this room in.
The room in.
Copy room in.
Now, all around this room, this particular area, you can see that there is more of that motif that's from the big giant brazier. More of those guys that are carrying like water, like big. As these things are a little bit bigger in carving, the humans that are in this relief, you can tell that the big bowls that they have what you think at first looks like they're like bowls of apples and that sort of thing. But as you get closer, you're noticing that they are bowls of skulls.
Oh, good.
That are being carried around.
Wait, where's bowls?
That's
of
good.
So it's along the walls.
Oh, okay.
Jar full of skulls.
Yeah.
Let's look at the bowls of skulls.
Well, popular in Cantonese cuisine.
So yeah, so that's kind of what's going on in that particular room. Now, this room, ironically enough, like when you first entered this tunnel system at the down this little curve to the left and then down to the right, well, bottom left of the screen, you notice that there was a lot of like kind of goblin graffiti along. Yeah, there you go, like goblin graffiti left and right in here. And it looked like, it's all at that height, waist height for you guys, maybe a little bit higher. But in here,
we're dwarves and a halfling, so it's
okay. So maybe shoulder height.
Yeah.
But in here, there's no graffiti. It's been left alone.
Who wants to draw anything on the walls covered in skull sculptures?
Now the strange thing.
Draw mustaches on the skulls.
The strange thing along with that is the idea that there is You would think that if you were looking at something that's kind of like death related or something, that it would be a lot darker and brooding. But for some strange reason, again, you still get that feeling of invigoration.
Well, I'm going to be curious to see. Is there anything in this room? First off, besides the wall art?
No, not at this point.
Okay, what I'm thinking is that I'm looking for a motif here because we're in the first one. There's skulls and death and awful, and the next room is all celebration and worshipy kind of activity and sacrifice kind of activity. If we go into the next room and everyone's happy and the skulls are now alive again, I'm gonna see a theme. I have a funny feeling this is like a timeline deal. And our illustrious DM can check me on that.
Did I be juggling?
I have a funny feeling this is like related to some ceremony, like stick the dead people here, stuff happens in the next room, everything gets happy.
I can't help myself.
And everybody's so happy.
One of these skulls. I just have
They're
to.
just drawn. They're not actual skulls.
Yeah, it's kind of carved. It's a relief. It's kind of carved
on the outside.
Yeah, on the walls. It's kind of like outside. Like you can actually touch it, and it would feel. If you touched it, it would feel like the outside is kind of like slightly curved, where that would be.
I thought we were looking at bowls of skulls.
Yeah, it's been carved into the wall. Kind of think of like
Carvings
like
bowls of skulls.
Hieroglyphs, you know?
Yeah, like Greek
the
Greek
Egyptian.
drawings or whatever. But these are actually they're carved into the wall so that it actually gives it that kind of texture feel. So that's what's called a relief, where it's kind of it has almost a three-dimensional quality to it.
I got it. I missed that before.
Gotcha.
I'll try and pay better attention. Right.
Right.
No worries.
Next creepy room.
All right. Next creepy room.
Does anybody want to do anything else here? I just want to make sure before we move on.
No, it's sufficiently creepy. Without any checks, it's good.
I'm sad now.
We don't need to do checks to
skull.
There's no need for any of that kind of nonsense. Not at all. All right.
Except for now.
Here.
Everybody.
Yeah, and now we wander into the skull room.